Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Gaming with Grandma. Alright guys, I've had a little bit of problems. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that on camera. But anyway, I wanted to go through some stuff for Shadow VR. I mean Shadow PC. So there's a lot of streaming services out there. The only thing with Shadow is it's like a gaming PC, like your own desktop PC. You pay $29.99 a month. It does tremendously well. I don't have lag or anything. Now Dead by Daylight is a lot harder on PC because it's the skill checks. I always mess them up. But anyway, it's a very good gaming PC. But when you get into VR, it kind of gets technical. So I'm going to explain that today in this video. I'm going to talk about Shadow and VR and does it work on your PC and all that other information that you need. So stay tuned, guys, and we're going to continue this conversation. So the thing that I was having a problem with was I could not hook up my cable to my PC. Now I can hook it up to my regular PC, but of course I don't have the graphics card and all that for update or whatever. So when I plug it into my computer and try to hook it up with the Shadow, it will not. And I've talked to support about all sorts of things so I could figure out most of them so I could answer some questions. So the thing with Shadow is a lot of things you can do with Shadow. One, you can play all your Steam games, your VR games, everything on it. Now, it just depends on how you go about it. If you're going to virtual desktop, I wouldn't suggest it. If you're doing Shadow VR, do not, I repeat, do not do virtual desktop. Virtual desktop is for people that already have a gaming PC. But why would you use virtual desktop when you could just hook up your headset and be ready and, you know. Another thing, Shadow PCs, because they're in the cloud, they do not, you cannot get Wi-Fi at all. Because with them being in data centers, if you think you had Wi-Fi, someone could hack your information, like lickety-split. Especially with some of the smart people nowadays. And me, I'm not one of them. But anyway, so here's the problem most people are having. They can't hook up their Quest to their computer. For Shadow, I mean. They cannot do AirLink with Shadow. There's a lot of things you can't do on Shadow. Basically VR. So this is what I've learned. I've learned that a lot of times I would get into VR and I'd be using virtual desktop and I would close out of my Shadow, shut it down, reopen it, and my screen was like this. And I'm like, what in the world? So I kept resetting it. I was talking to customer support, or I sent a support ticket. They responded in a day. So the next morning or afternoon, I noticed that, you know, they responded. They have been fantastic for responding. And I think I've showed in my other video how to do a support ticket. If you guys don't know how, you just go to your Shadow account. So when you go to your web browser and do Shadow login, and when you get into Shadow login, it'll literally ask you to log into your account. You log into it, and then you go to support, and then you just type in what your problem is, and that'll give them a support ticket. If you're trying to do it from any other site, it's not going to work. So, okay, so now the VR version. So I've had a lot of problems with the VR. I finally decided I wasn't going to do virtual desktop anymore. When I did play the virtual desktop, it was very bad. It was choppy. Every time I turned my head, it was like you know, and I was so frustrated because I couldn't get it to, couldn't get the cord, I couldn't get AirLink, I couldn't do any of that. So my suggestion is, so what I do is on my desktop, I'll open up my shadow on my desktop, and that will be running. And then I come over to this PC, and of course I start recording, and then I go to here to cast my headset, so that way you guys can see what's inside my headset. So here's the thing. Go to Get Side Quest. Click on this. Now I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. So once this is done, now you're doing this not with your shadow. You're doing this with your regular PC, and you open it up. It might take a little bit. So, okay, so when you get into here, you open Setup. You plug your USB or USB-C into your computer. Then you plug the other end into your headset. And then you do allow. Now you have to make sure that you do unknown sources. You make sure that's lit up in your headset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on my headset, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what to do. But this will be all connected. And a lot of times this part right here is not green. Just do fix it for me, and you'll be good. But if you notice, nothing has been downloaded to my PC. So we're going to go ahead and get into the headset, guys, and I will see you guys in the headset. Alright, guys, so now I'm in my headset. So now this is what I wanted to show you. You click this, you click your mic. Now I can maximize it. Okay, so now that I'm in my headset, so here we go. So you go to here, you go to up, you go to unknown sources, and you'll see SideQuest right here. So when you open SideQuest, it'll have all these games, and you can search with what you want. So I'm going to type in Shadow. So they have the early access, okay? And what you do is you just download the app in unknown sources. Good grief, I can't even speak. But that's how you do that. If you want to know how to get to experimental features, this is the ones that that you can do. Usually it's this one that has you can do the AirLink right here. I shut it off because I don't need it, because it won't work with my thing. But play area boundaries may also be disabled content developer purpose. USB connect dialog, that's what I have clicked. You always want to check, make sure your software is up to date, because if it's not, and then auto wake headset when you put it on, all this stuff, if you have questions, or make sure you have all this stuff selected, cloud backup, all that, and keyboard, where you can actually go into the Oculus keyboard. Make sure that's on, because if not, you're not going to be able to do any typing. So my battery is 95%. You definitely want to pay attention to this and your batteries for your controllers, because if you don't, you're going to be in a game and all of a sudden you're going to be like, what's going on? My controllers aren't working. It's because one of your batteries was lower than the other. I have done that before where I've used just the right controller and I didn't use the left one, and I noticed the right one would literally have this done. Like it'd be down and this one would be up. So I have to use both of them. But yeah, that's basically how you do it. Other than this one. This one is very, very important when you're playing in the headset. This detects how much movements you do every day. Now, I don't use my headset every single day, but I will show you this. This is what light, moderate, and then you do next. And then I do that one, 40. 5 days. All right, see, so today I have to lose 100 calories, 40 move wins, and I'd get 5 weekly gold. Now, I don't know how you can do it, but this is what I've gotten so far. I'm still on 100. So if you win, I'm not sure what you get, but it's really cool. How you can see I'm on 89. This one I completed, I think it. Yeah. So I'm not sure what you can do if you do all this. Yeah, so I don't know anything about this. This is something new I never even heard of. So when you're in your Shadow PC, now this is what I was saying earlier, how they have USBs. Now if I click on this, it's going to disable my camera on my PC, so don't do that. If you're recording on your PC and you go to click on that, it's going to disable your camera. And of course it's loading. But it's okay. So when I play VR, I open my Shadow on my desktop, which is over there. I open up my Shadow, and then when I'm on my laptop, I go over here and go to the Oculus Cast, and of course I edit the part that I'm getting on my headset and getting everything set up, things like that are non-necessary. But I kind of wanted to show you guys how to do that from earlier. So anyways, on there is my desktop. So I have Shadow open. Now, when you have Shadow open on a separate PC, it doesn't matter what PC you have. I'm not sure what Mac and all that has to do. I just know PCs. So if you have like a laptop or whatever, and you load up OBS and then you do the Oculus stream, that is good on your PC. But if you have Shadow open and you're trying to record VR, it'll shut down your Shadow, and then your video that you were recording in the background literally either freezes or stutters. So I literally just have Shadow on there and then my recording here. But like if I'm playing a regular game on Shadow, then of course I'm just gonna have it like I have it now. But anytime you go into the VR, into Shadow VR, on the computer that has Shadow open, it will close that Shadow. And then when it shuts down at the bottom, it will say, like if you actually shut down your Shadow, if you shut it down, there'll be a thing at the bottom it'll be like the bottom area of the Shadow, and it'll say that it went to VR. So when you first put on your headset, you have to connect your device. So you have to go directly to how he had his name how he has his code and his name, and then you just do continue to VR. Now, when you're done doing that, you could start up your shadow. But if you want to work on your PC, you can do 2D. And you're going to be loaded into here. This is going to be your VR. So if you do 2D, it'll go to your desktop. So another thing, when you start up Shadow, when you go into VR, it literally shuts off your headset or shuts off your PC. So if you automatically choose this to start up VR automatically, you won't have to sign in all the time. It'll directly take you to the Steam. So, okay. So when Shadow's open and you want to play a game, you could just click any game. But if you do have a Shadow account, you can get the Shadow VR. And to my aspect, it's really, really good. Like, it is really good. When I was doing virtual desktop, it started bothering my eyes because it was like 3D type thing. And I can't explain it, but it literally hurt my eyes when I played it. But the Shadow VR, it's clearer. There's not a whole lot like 3D and all that other stuff. And I could play the Forest. I'm going to try that next. I'm going to play the Forest in VR when it's not so stinking hot in my house. I even have my air on and I'm still hot. I'm not going to be able to do VR until my house cools down more. I'm like dying. I don't know what it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks guys so much for watching. I hope this helped answer any questions. A lot of times when you plug in a USB and you click on, the Quest, it shows it's hooked up. It's like, yes, I got it. And then you go into the Oculus app on your PC and it still says not connected or unavailable or something like that. So I hope I answered everybody's question. So I guess that's about it. So this is Grandma signing out. Adios, amigos. Doses. I'm out.